Good evening, viewers. This is Yanka Kekrazanyo Solo. You're now watching Hornbill TV's Northeast Express. The central government has approved 56 watershed development projects to be undertaken in 10 states including Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Karnataka, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, Assam, Nagaland, Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand and Sikkim. The projects will be worth rupees 700 crore and the selected states are among the best performing states, said Rural Development Minister on Monday. The projects would be undertaken under the ongoing scheme of PMKSY WDC 2.0. Each project will approximately have an area of 5,000 hectares, but in hill states it may be lesser. The initiative prioritizes visible field impacts by allocating rupees 700 crore to approximately 2.8 lakh hectares, ensuring timely recovery of degraded land and efficient utilization of funds, the statement said. The Department of Land Resources DOLR is implementing the watershed development component of Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana PMKSY, which aims to develop degraded land, rain-fed areas of the country. Also by undertaking watershed development projects in an integrated approach, the activities undertaken include rich area treatment, drainage line treatment, soil and moisture conservation, rainwater harvesting, nursery raising, pasture development and livelihoods for asset-less persons.
वैसे ही आज भूमि संसाधन विभाग की तरफ से 56 नई वाटरशेड विकास की परियोजनाओं को, जिसमें 700 करोड़ रुपए से ज्यादा की राशि खर्च होगी और अंततः मिट्टी के कटाव रोकने के लिए और जल संरक्षण के लिए और भूजल का स्तर बढ़ाने के लिए ये वाटरशेड का उपयोग।
Manipur Chief Minister N. Biren Singh discussed coordination of different forces in the state with high-ranking Assam Rifles officials on Tuesday. Commenting on recent meeting with officers, Lieutenant General Vikas Lakhera, AVSM SM DGAR and Major General Ravrup Singh Sena Medal, IGAR South, Biren Singh said discussions were held on the line to improve coordination. He stated that a proper coordination is necessary with the army personnel, Assam Rifles paramilitary forces and the state police force, as a good coordination will bring a solution. That is what they discuss continuously in the meeting. Biren Singh's remark about good coordination among different security forces could be seen in the light of relentless criticisms towards different law enforcement agencies for lack of coordination in the state since the beginning of the ethnic crisis. Assam Rifles in particular was subject to continuous criticism in state, and recently an outpost of Assam Rifles was reportedly stormed by mob at Kamjong district. The embattled BJP's chief minister was speaking at the sidelines of 9th Armed Forces Veterans Day celebration held at 1st Battalion Manipur Rifles Banquet Hall on Tuesday. Biren Singh also stated that the armed forces officers' personnel in the state is higher than the other states population-wise. Manipur has the highest army officers population ratio, and out of 4 lieutenant general in the entire northeastern region, 2 belongs to Manipur, he said.
Population ratio-wise, Manipur has one of the highest armed forces personnel in the state. Having with this fact in mind, you honor all the armed forces veterans since yesterday. Your message for the people as well as the veteran armed forces of the Manipur.
No, not in armed personnel. I'm talking about the officers. Armed officers percentage is higher than other states. Calculating in the per capita, we are having right now around 350 army officers. Means in defense. So means calculating in the per capita, we might be the highest. That's and out of 4 lieutenant, lieutenant general from the entire Northeast, 2 are from Manipur. That's the pride. That is the proud moment of the Manipur. And you see how many colonel, major, captain, and holder, and it is few has left because some are, organizing in the Sorsanpur also. There are also huge presence are there. So that is the proud moment of the Manipur. As a Manipuri, I am proud of them. And those people who sacrifice in Afghanistan and in the border, encountering with the terrorists, encountering with the enemies, that part also.
Now,
I
another,
appreciate.
exactly, Tom. Now, another thing is, with the alliance of this civil aviation minister, your government is increasing air connectivity, particularly in Northeast India and Manipur. What exactly is the project, Tom?
No, you know, just fare hike, price is hike like anything now. Imphal Delhi, Imphal Calcutta, Imphal Guwahati. So we have already engaged with the ministry, and the ministry has already approved 3 airlines. So one airline is one, but for 3 locations, Dimapur, Guwahati, and Calcutta. That will be in the lower rate. Price will be lower, not less, not more than above the 5,000. So people will benefit from this.
There was just one last one. Recently, you held meeting with the IGR South and the other Assam Rifle personnel. What are the things you discussed with them?
No, we discussed about the coordination. We need a proper coordination with the army personnel, Assam Rifles, paramilitary forces, and the state police. Good coordination can bring a solution. That's why we discuss continuously to have a good coordination among us.
Thank you, Ram.
Up next, Charaideo Maidams, also known as the Pyramids of Assam, has been recognized as UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the World Heritage Certificate of Inscription from UNESCO from the Charaideo Maidams was received by Assam's Culture Minister Bimal Bora in Paris. The certification for Maidams, the Mount Burial System of Ahom Dynasty, was given by UNESCO's Assistant Director General for Culture, Ernesto Oton Ramirez, on Monday in the presence of India's ambassador in France, Vishal B. Sharma. With this, the Charaideo Maidams has become the first cultural property from the Northeast to receive the recognition. The Maidams represent the Mount Burial tradition of the Ahom dynasty, active from the 13th to 19th centuries. Among the 386 Maidams explored so far, 19 royal burials at Charaideo are the best preserved examples of the tradition. These structures hold the remains of Ahom royalty and are considered sacred by those who honor ancestral worship. Furthermore, the Maidams offer a unique representation of burial practices across South and Southeast Asia.
Ugali, Bihur, Shubesha, Jonalu.
In a significant boost to air connectivity in the Northeast India, Alliance Air under the Ministry of Civil Aviation in partnership with the Manipur state government has introduced new flight routes linking Imphal with Guwahati, Kolkata and Dimapur. The services are set to commence on January 15, 2025. This was officially announced by the Chief Minister of Manipur, N. Biren Singh, while speaking to reporters at a sideline of the Armed Forces Day commemoration in Imphal on Tuesday. The flight service will be available twice in a week for each destination, that is from Imphal to Dimapur, vice versa, Imphal to Guwahati, vice versa, and Imphal to Kolkata, vice versa. And Biren Singh further said that the new Alliance Air service will charge not more than Rs 5,000 as an airfare for each destination. If the airfare increases about Rs 5,000, the state government will bear the extra charges for those passengers from Manipur. These flights will bolster travel, trade and tourism in Manipur region with the new connectivity from across the country. With the enhancement of air connectivity with the rest of the country, these new flights will boost travel, tourism and businesses in Manipur, and Biren Singh said.
Exactly, Tom. Another thing is, with the alliance of this civil aviation minister, your government is increasing air connectivity, particularly in Northeast India and Manipur. What exactly is the project, Tom?
No, you know, just fare hike, price is hike like anything now. Imphal Delhi, Imphal Calcutta, Imphal Guwahati. So we have already engaged with the ministry, and the ministry has already approved 3 airlines. So one airline is one, but for 3 locations, Dimapur, Guwahati and Calcutta. That will be in the lower rate. Price will be lower, not less, not more than above the 5,000. So
Heading on to the next news, Burning Meijis during Magh Bihu is a deeply significant tradition in Assam with cultural, historical and agricultural roots. It is a way for people to give thanks for a bountiful harvest, to mark the end of the old culture, the agricultural cycle and the beginning of a new one, and to come together as community. While there are concerns about the environmental impact on this, people are finding ways to make the tradition more sustainable. As part of traditional puja on the day of Makar Sankranti, Meiji was burned this morning at Latasil in Guwahati, where some senior people, children and women were present. Magh Bihu, also known as Bogali Bihu, is a popular festival celebrated in the state of Assam in the northeast India. One of the most iconic traditions of this festival is burning the Meijis, which is a large structure made of bamboo and thatched with hay. In this blog post, we will explore the significance of burning Meijis during Magh Bihu and the cultural and historical reasons behind the practice. The festival of Magh Bihu marks the end of the harvest season, and the burning of Meiji symbolizes end of the old agricultural cycle and the beginning of a new one. The Meijis are open field with harvested crops such as rice and other grains before they are set alight. This is a way for farmers to offer thanks to the gods of a successful harvest and to ask for continued prosperity in the coming year.
आपको सभी को मालूम है कि आज माघ बिहू का पुण्य अवसर में हम लोग यहाँ में मेजी जलाया है। और ये हम लोग का लोटा हिल प्ले ग्राउंड है, और लोटा हिल प्ले ग्राउंड का सामने में हम लोग का जो पब्लिक जो हम लोग का गणेश टेम्पल है वो है। तो हम लोगों ने इस मकर संक्रांति का उद्देश्य से हम लोगों ने पूजा पाठ करके हम लोग यहाँ पे मेजी जलाया। मेजी जलाने का उद्देश्य यही है कि माघ महीना में मेजी जलाने से जो आग का मतलब ये धुआं होता है या आगुन होता है, उससे जो समाज का जो खराबी है वो निकल जाता है और पुण्य होता है बोल के हम लोग को एक जनविश्वास है। इसी अवसर से हम लोगों ने, और ये हम लोग का जो लोटा हिल पूजा कमेटी है, गणेश मंदिर पूजा कमेटी है, इनका जरिए हम लोग का ये आपका मेजी का आयोजन किया था। तो ये हम लोग न्यू जनरेशन को एक ही मैसेज देना चाहते हैं कि ये हम लोग का जो बोलते हैं जो बिहू हम लोग का बापोतिया होन, तो इसका जो महत्व है वो हम लोग सभी को मतलब समझना चाहिए, इसको उपलब्धि करना चाहिए। तो हम सभी मतलब समाज का हर कैटेगरी का आदमी को हम यही बोलना चाहते हैं कि जे बिहू आसामीज कल्चर का एक मतलब एक अभिन्न अंग है, तो इसको सेलिब्रेट करना चाहिए।
हाँ, ये पहले देखा नहीं, क्योंकि शहर में ये सब होता नहीं है, गांव में अलग होता है। और यहाँ देखने से बहुत अच्छा लगता है, क्योंकि हमारे ये जो असम का ट्रेडिशंस है और ये जो मकर संक्रांति के समय हम जो अग्नि देवता को पूजा करते हैं वो हम देख सकते हैं अब। और ये बहुत अच्छा लगता है क्योंकि असम के लोग अपने कल्चर्स एंड ऑल रख के ऐसे सेलिब्रेट कर सकते हैं।
प्री हिस्टोरिक हमारा परंपरा है, या बहुत दिन इसका हिस्ट्री कोई मिलता नहीं है कोई हिस्ट्री में। ये एक्चुअली ट्राइब से आता है। हमारा कृषि निर्भर है असम का जो ये मतलब जो इकोनॉमी है। आफ्टर मैंने हार्वेस्टिंग सब लोग ये शस्य अपने फसल उगाने के बाद थोड़ा मतलब ये होता है, उसके बाद ये पूरा भराल बोलते हैं हम, भराल पूरा भर जाता है अनाज से। उसके बाद लोग ये पत्थर में होता है, एक्चुअली पत्थर में। हमारे यहाँ गुवाहाटी में भी टाउन में भी ऐसा ही हो रहा है अभी। मतलब नया जनरेशन को दिखाना है क्या हो रहा है इधर। कम से कम ये लोग गुवाहाटी का लोग, आइन शहर का लोग ये देख सकते हैं, इसीलिए तहसील में और अलग अलग जगह में, सिटी में स्पेशली।
Navy divers deployed for the rescue operation of the 9 miners trapped inside a rat hole in Umrangsao, Assam's Dima Hasao district have been withdrawn on Tuesday. Even as dewatering at the quarry continues, the Navy divers were brought on January 7th. The rescue operation has entered 9 days so far. So far, 4 bodies were recovered from the mine and 9 still remain to be traced. However, their chances of survival appear slim. The watering, however, continues and water level is receding. According to updates, one of the officials said initially the water level was 100 feet. However, by Monday, it has receded by 3 meters. The rescue operations were being conducted jointly by the Army, Assam Rifles, NDRF, SDRF and District Administration. Amid allegations of illegal mining being unchecked, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sama has claimed that the mine was abandoned 12 years ago and has been under the Assam Mineral Development Corporation since 3 years. Meanwhile, the Assam Sonmolito Morcha has announced plans to hold a protest in the Assam Mineral Development Corporation office in Guwahati's Ganesh Guri on January 16th, demanding immediate action against the ongoing illegal coal mining activities in Karbi Anglong and Dima Hasao. The National Testing Agency has postponed UGC NET December 2024 examination that was scheduled for January 15, 2025. The decision was taken after NTA received representation of postponed on account of Pongal, Makar Sankranti and other festival. The new date of the exam will be announced later, said NTA. However, it should be noted that only the exam schedule for January 15th has been postponed and the examination scheduled on January 16th will be conducted as per earlier schedule. BSF Jawans manning the Indo-Bangladesh border in Cooch Behar district of West Bengal were on Monday attacked by unknown miscreants at Matbanga. According to some reports, the BSF Jawans had to open fire for self-defense while they were being attacked. Meanwhile, the Jawans managed to foil illegal border crossing attempts and smuggling beats at the border. Reports said in various operations, 2 illegal Bangladesh and 3 Indians were caught illegally crossing the Indian border. BSF has also seized 535 banned fentanyl bottles, 400 strips of tapentadol and rescued 2 cattle and 100 pigeons from the clutches of the smugglers. BSF also issued a statement stating that the arrested illegal Bangladeshis and Indians have been handed over to Dantala police station for further action, while the seized goods have been handed over to the concerned department. The rescued cattle were handed over to Dhyan Foundation and e-tagging, and the pigeons handed over to the Forest Department, Basirhat. Heading on to the next news, where General Upinder Dwivedi, Chief of Army Staff COAS, on Tuesday visited the Artificial Limbs Center in Pune, where he toured the state-of-the-art facilities dedicated to providing prosthetic care to soldiers and veterans. The visit underscored the latest advancements in prosthetic technology, with the general being briefed on center's cutting-edge computer-aided designing, also known as CAD, and manufacturing workshops. During his address at the 9th Armed Forces Veterans Day event, General Dwivedi said that today is a special day as they have the opportunity to honor all those brave soldiers who have devoted their valuable time in the service of the country. They are all sources of inspiration for the society and nation, he stated, paying tribute to the sacrifices made by the veterans. General Dwivedi's address was the efforts being made to establish the Army's recognition and active collaboration with the state's governments. He explained that the goal is to facilitate greater involvement of ex-servicemen in the state operations, creating mutual benefits for both the veterans and local government.
आप सभी को 9वें वेटरन्स डे के शुभ अवसर पर मेरी हार्दिक शुभकामनाएं। आज का यह दिन विशेष है क्योंकि आज हमें उन सभी बहादुर योद्धाओं का सम्मान करने का अवसर मिला है जिन्होंने अपने जीवन का बहुमूल्य समय इस देश के प्रति सेवा में समर्पित किया है। आप सभी न केवल देश के वीर रक्षक हैं बल्कि आज भी आप हमारे समाज और राष्ट्र के लिए प्रेरणा स्रोत हैं। सेना में आपके योगदान से लेकर सेवानिवृत्ति के बाद आपके सामाजिक दायित्वों तक आपकी यात्रा हमारे राष्ट्र के लिए अपार महत्व रखती है। हमारा राष्ट्र आज अपने विकसित भारत के स्थापित लक्ष्य की ओर तेजी से कदम बढ़ा रहा है। इस लक्ष्य की प्राप्ति के लिए हर नागरिक के समावेशिता की आवश्यकता है। इस स्थिति में हमारे वेटरन्स का एक अमूल्य ह्यूमन कैपिटल के रूप में राष्ट्रीय प्रयास को सक्षम और सशक्त बनाने में एक मुख्य संपत्ति बन सकते हैं। यदि हम यानी 24 लाख रजिस्टर्ड वेटरन्स, 7 लाख वीर नारी विधवाएं, 28 लाख रजिस्टर्ड डिपेंडेंट्स, 12 लाख सर्विंग सोल्जर्स और उनके तकरीबन 24 लाख डिपेंडेंट्स और 28 लाख ऐसे लोग जो नॉन डिपेंडेंट होते हुए भी साथ में रह रहे हैं, इन सब की अगर हम कुल लागत लगाएं तो ये 1.25 करोड़ यानी 1.25 करोड़ की जनसंख्या बनती है। यह ह्यूमन कैपिटल अनुभव, अनुशासन और प्रतिबद्धता से भरपूर है और इसे राष्ट्र निर्माण के प्रयासों में एक महत्वपूर्ण योगदान देने में उपयोग में लाया जा सकता है। इस दृष्टिकोण के अनुसार सेना को राज्य सरकारों तक सक्रिय रूप से पहचान बनाने का प्रयास जारी है। उन विभिन्न क्षेत्रों और पृष्ठभूमि का विस्तार किया जा रहा है जहां पूर्व सैनिक राष्ट्र निर्माण के प्रयासों को सुदृढ़ करने में सहभागी बन सकें। इस प्रयास के दो पहलू जिन्हें समानांतर रूप से आगे बढ़ाने की आवश्यकता है। पहला, राज्य को अपने कार्य में वेटरन्स की समावेशिता से कैसे लाभ हो सकता है और दूसरा, मान्यता और योगदान का एक पूरक संबंध स्थापित करना जो पूर्व सैनिकों और राज्य सरकार दोनों के लिए विन विन स्थिति उत्पन्न करे। इस तरह की कार्रवाई जिला स्तर पर भी विचाराधीन है। इस अवधारणा पर कुछ राज्यपाल के साथ चर्चा की गई जो स्वयं भी पूर्व सैनिक रह चुके हैं और इस प्रयास के मूल विचारों को उनका समर्थन प्राप्त हुआ है। इसी के मद्देनजर सारे आर्मी कमांडर साहब को अनुरोध किया गया है कि वो सारे चीफ मिनिस्टर्स को पत्र लिखें और बताएं कि हमारे वेटरन्स के बारे में क्या उनके स्ट्रेंथ हैं जो एक प्रदेश के काम आ सकती है और जब वो चीफ मिनिस्टर से मिलें तो इसके बारे में भी बातचीत को आगे बढ़ाएं। इस पहल की सफलता इस बात पर निर्भर करती है कि सिविल फंक्शनरीज को कितनी कुशलता से समझाया जा सके और वेटरन्स के बीच समावेशिता और सामूहिक परियोजनाओं में भागीदारी के लिए तालमेल स्थापित किया जा सके।
That's all for now. For more news, stay tuned and keep watching Hornbill TV.